Today I have a helper in the garage. Oh, it's a good boy. Welcome back, everybody. For today's garage project, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be cleaning up my cylinder head here. So I went out, I have purchased one of these Dremel kits, and I am gonna try to start removing some of the casting flashes that is on this particular piece. I'm not trying to get rid of as much weight as possible. That's not the point of today's project. I really just want to start removing a lot of the casting flash on this particular piece. So a couple of areas that I'm going to be addressing is going to be right over here next to this log. A lot of this metal here doesn't need to be here anymore. This particular area over here, I'll remove as much as I can. I have a spot over here that's kind of grimy, definitely needs a lot of smoothing out. But we're not going to get carried away. Like I said, I'm not trying to lose as much weight as possible. Really, I just want to clean up the piece as best as possible. I will do a before and after weigh-in though, so we will see exactly how much weight I was able to take off this particular piece. All right, and for the moment of truth, we're gonna do our pre-cleanup weigh-in. So a couple things to keep in mind. I did place a shop towel on my scale just because I didn't want the cylinder head to hurt the scale. And then the other thing to keep in mind is that I do still have the valves installed on this particular cylinder head. So this is not going to be just a standalone weigh-in for this particular piece, but it should not affect our pre and post results. So let's go ahead and get that piece on and see what this thing weighs. And it looks like we have a weigh-in of 63.2. The first casting flash that I'm going to get ready to remove is going to be this little spot right here. Once again, I am not trying to cut off as much weight as possible. I really just want to try to make all of these casting flashes go away so it makes the cylinder head look a lot better. No matter what, you're going to be losing a couple of pounds, so that's always good, but not the main objective for today's project. One thing that you really need to keep in mind is if you are going to embark on a project like this is let the tool do all of the work. I'm not going to be forcing the Dremel to cut more than what it needs to cut. I just want nice smooth lines. So I am going to go ahead and place my Dremel on setting number 6, and we are going to go ahead and start grinding away. We still have a little bit of a bulge right here, so I'm probably going to keep working on it just for a little bit longer until it looks really nice and smooth, although I'm very, very happy with how it's already coming out. And only after just a few minutes of doing some Dremel work, you can see that things are really, really starting to smooth out. And this actually looks pretty good. I could work on it for a little bit longer and really start smoothing things out. I could even work a little bit on this area here, but just because I'm trying to only clean up the cylinder head, I'm gonna go ahead and just count this as a win and move on to another flash. All right, looks like the Dremel did get the best of me on this little side right here, but that's not a problem at all. That will clean up nicely. There's a little bit more work that I want to do on this side over here. There's some more smoothing out that I want to do, but I'm not trying to be too aggressive with the metal removal, so I'm going to keep on taking things nice and slow. So I've stopped for a moment, not only just to take a breather, but to kind of see how everything is going midway through this project on this flash area over here. So everything is smoothing out very, very nicely. I am by no means a professional, so you know, the work does not look pretty. But I do think we're in a better place than we were prior. I'm going to work on this casting flash right here, just a tad bit. I don't want to take off too much of that. And then some of the casting flash here on the log. I do think though that after a nice machine shop washing and a coat of paint, that this is gonna look like really, really good. So I'm kind of excited to see the final product. So I just finished going around the cylinder head and cleaning up all the flash areas that I was concerned about. So this is the very first spot that I went and started to use the Dremel on. Like I said, this is just for the purposes of cleaning up some of the flash. I didn't want to remove absolutely everything. Could I have done a better job? Oh, 100%. This is definitely not work that I would pay for, but for me, it's perfectly good enough. I had to spend a lot of time on the log because there was a huge flash here that I was able to really smooth out now. This looks way, way better. There was a tiny one here that I kind of addressed and it's virtually gone. You can still see that there's still some remnants of it, but for right now, I'm okay with that. A little flash here that I also just took the Dremel to and just went ahead, cut it off a little bit. This side over here, did a lot more cleanup work, especially right on this side here, because there was just a big piece of metal right here. Smoothed that out, cleaned up this area, and then cleaned up the back of the log here. Let's go ahead and get this thing weighed in. So now that all of that work is done, let's go ahead and do our second weigh-in post-work. And we now have a final weight of 62.9, which I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting that at all. You know, just for a little bit of cleanup work, we actually lost a bit more weight than I was expecting. So it kind of goes to show that just a little bit of elbow grease can kind of go a far way when it comes to these types of projects. That's going to be it though for today's project, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm still kind of shocked that we lost 0.3 of a pound, just given the fact that this was just a cleanup job. I just wanted to get rid of some of the kind of the gross flash that was just, you know, on the cylinder head. Could I have possibly been more aggressive on other areas and lost more weight? Most definitely. And could I also have done a better job with the areas that I did work on? Also, most definitely, but everything is going to work. So I'm honestly very happy with everything that we did today. In the future, I may cut off maybe a little bit more on the cylinder head, but we'll have to wait and see. Couple of channel updates. I did go out on this holiday season and purchased the Offenheiser triple carburetor conversion for the cylinder head. The only issue is that it is currently back ordered. So whenever I end up getting the piece, I will definitely make a video on it. So please expect an unboxing video of that kit here, hopefully soon. Who knows? Other than that, bye-bye.